сега ще издържи. Това няма, може би да стигне.
Should we wait for somebody or should we just start? It seems like the theme of the day is questions and answers. So how many people are techies here? Like programmers and stuff like that? Just a couple of guys right now. Okay. So this will probably be a very boring presentation for the rest of you. I'll basically explain what SysLoWPAN is. And SysLoWPAN is essentially, in a word, an IP version 6 for low power networks. And it's very low bandwidth, and that's it. Thank you. Actually, because the presentation is really, really hard and it's really, really technical, I'll try doing something else instead. And I'll basically show you what we did today with SysLoWPAN. And what we did is basically connect our fridge with Heineken here to the internet. And right now, actually, our fridge is connected and it's basically recording what's the temperature inside the fridge. Because last time, when Heineken was our sponsor, they were not very happy with us because our beer was not cold enough. So we decided to make them happy and basically we left the fridge on the internet. But first, I'll just give you some details about 6LoWPAN, just so you know what I'll show you and what we're doing. The things you need to know about 6LoWPAN is that there is a thing called IPv6, and this thing is actually ubiquitous in the sense that we have enough IPv6 addresses to basically address every atom in the universe. Also, another thing you need to know about 6LoWPAN and IoT in general is that Wi-Fi is not really a good protocol for IoT, and there are a couple of other protocols. One of those I'll show you today. One of the protocols is called 802.15.4, which is most commonly known as ZigBee. And there is another protocol which everybody basically uses, and it's called BLE, or Bluetooth Low Energy, and everybody has one in their phone. So, does anybody know anything about IPv6 here? It's gonna happen. So, okay. Anybody has any knowledge about IPv4? Cool for you. It doesn't work for you anyway. IPv6 is really different from IPv4. There are a lot of differences in the way all devices that use IPv6 get configured. At the same time, IPv6 at first glance looks really complicated, but once you start using it, it's basically very, very simple. It's even simpler than IPv4. So IPv6 is a layer 3 protocol. For those of you who basically know all the 7 layers of the protocol network layer stack. IPv6, as I said, it's complicated because it has these very, very long addresses. And IPv6 has 3 different types of addresses. One is a link local, which is basically an address that only the device that's using it can see. There is another type of address that's unique local addresses, and those addresses I'll show you today. And there is also public address. And the difference between IPv4 and IPv6 is that every device can have a public address, and because we have enough addresses, every device is visible from the internet. IPv6, as I said, has a very huge address space, so basically we can use everything to connect to the internet with IPv6. And in the IPv6 space, you don't have to think about addresses. There, we only think about subnets. So why should we care about IPv6? As I said, because it's really huge. This is a Donald Trump reference. As I said again, IPv6 is ubiquitous. Everybody can use IPv6, and basically everybody can access it through the internet. But before we use IPv6, we need the layer 1 protocol. And the layer 1 protocol, for those of you who are not tech people, this is basically a wire. Think of it as a wire. The Ethernet in your home router that the internet comes from, this is a layer 1. Think of layer 1 as a wire. There are also other protocols. One of those I mentioned, it's 802.15.4, which I'll show you today, and the protocol that we use to connect the fridge to the internet. There is also Bluetooth Low Energy, Wi-Fi, and 802.3 is basically Ethernet. So all those protocols can use IPv6, and they use IPv6. What about 802.15.4? It's a very old protocol actually, but nobody has heard of it. However, some people have heard of it because of a commercial implementation that's called ZigBee. And if somebody has worked with Internet of Things, ZigBee is the de facto standard, at least in North America. Why 802.15.4 is really good for IoT? Because it has a really low power consumption. So you can basically run a lot of those little sensors in your house, and that will not affect your electricity bill. It also has encryption, so all your data is safe, at least in theory. It's good for...
Sorry, it's me. Why mostly like that? Why mostly, like you mentioned, to pay our attention to this? Why that mostly works? Why not like that works?
Because everything in the IT world mostly works.
Okay, so it's in theory only. Okay.
Yeah, because everything mostly works, but not all the
Okay, I
time.
agree with you, just checking.
Yeah. 802.15.4 is really popular right now in all the industrial Internet of Things applications like machine-to-machine communication, stuff like that. And 802.15.4 basically works in the standard 2.4 GHz band, which is like the Wi-Fi band. And it also works in the 8 MHz band and the 900 MHz band. Another protocol that's also part of the 802.15 family is BLE, it's basically Bluetooth. And the history behind Bluetooth is really complicated, but the history behind Bluetooth Low Energy is really completely different from the Bluetooth consortium. Basically in 2006, Nokia invented the WiiWi protocol, and at a certain point they decided to call it the Bluetooth Low Energy, and Bluetooth adopted it as a backway compatible protocol to standard Bluetooth. Bluetooth is really awesome, it's really popular. Everybody who has some form of health tracker, like a smart Tingy that measures footsteps and sleep and stuff like that, this thing is basically using Bluetooth Low Energy. And as I said, well, Bluetooth is really cool, but at the same time it's really complicated because Bluetooth devices are basically black box devices. You basically tell something to them and they respond, but you don't know really what's going on behind the scenes. So Bluetooth is cool, but at the same time you really have to know what's going on. And a bit more about BLE. Again, as I said, this is really a technical presentation. So Bluetooth has different versions. The most common one is 4.0. This is something that's really popular and has been popular for the past at least 5 years. There is also 4.1, and most of the new phones basically use 4.1, and most of the smart gadgets right now on the market use 4.1. But there is also 4.2 spectrum protocol, and devices with that specification of the protocol are just starting to roll out. And this is a really interesting spectrum protocol because this allows your smart tracker to get an IP version 6. So basically, what you can do is get a BLE device. You can get an 802.15.4 device, you can get a Wi-Fi and also your home computer, and all of them can communicate to each other using IP version 6. So again, Wi-Fi devices really are not very good for IoT because they consume a lot of energy, and also Wi-Fi is like a really messy protocol. It's not really secure. You can hack it easily, except if you're using it for encryption. And also it consumes a lot of energy, as I said. Although there are some microcontrollers, for example, the very well and already well-known ESP8266 controller that can be used for Internet of Things applications. And this one can basically use IP version 6. However, a single device of those basically consumes as much energy as 10 802.15.4 devices. So, what's the way to make those things work together? Well, it's IP version 6. And IP version 6, because of the way it works, it's only good for like really powerful computers like your smartphone or your tablet or your home computer or even your smart TV. But it's not really applicable to low power devices and sensors. And this is where 601 comes basically. And 601 is like a really small implementation of IP version 6 for really micro devices. And actually, I'll show you something. I don't know if everybody is seeing something.
We won't go away.
Can we turn on the lights?
It doesn't go.
I'll try making it bigger. sorry, digital one. Well, this is a Raspberry Pi computer that's right here, right now, which unfortunately because of the lights you can't see, but you'll probably see the LED lights. So this device has a connected Wi-Fi, which you can see here. This is the standard Wi-Fi connection, and it has a local IP version 4 address. But there is also another device connected to it, and this is a 802.15.4 device. And this 802.15.4 device has a low-pan interface initialized on top of that. And as you can see, there is an IP version 6 address here. And this is the IP version 6 unique local address for this router. This basically works as a router right now. And there is also another Raspberry Pi, which I'm hoping, yeah, this is the Raspberry Pi, which has also a low-pan interface. And this one has another IP version 6 address. And this device has a connected Arduino to it. I hope, yeah, Adrian will go in the other room and will show you the Arduino and the Raspberry Pi, which are basically inside the fridge. And we have a temperature sensor there, and this thing basically imports the temperature of the fridge on the internet. And I'll show you what it does. Here is our official Twitter account. We have the stream, but we also have information about our fridge. Well, sort of. And we're tweeting to Heineken, and we're hoping that they're happy now.
And are they happy now?
Who knows? We'll hear from them tomorrow. And basically, we have as you won't be able to see, the temperature in our fridge is like 12 degrees. So the beer should be cold enough. And this thing is basically, it's a really dirty hack. We basically managed it like for the last couple of hours. And basically it takes data from one of the Raspberry Pis, and that Raspberry Pi communicates with this Raspberry Pi to 802.15.4. And I'll try going back to the presentation, just to finish off, because I think this is getting really boring for most people. So, here's something. This is basically what I've explained. A 6-volt pump, well, basically to access all your home devices, to be able to access the internet to write version 6, you'll still need a router. And in our particular case, we have a router that's based on OpenWRT, and WRT has a very mature network stack with IP version 4 and IP version 6. And it also uses the very mature network filter, which is only known in the Linux world as SecTails. Also, OpenWRT has a great ARM support. That's the reason why we chose OpenWRT, and that's the reason why our 802.15.4 ratings work. And it's also open source. Also, this is really interesting about 6-volt pump and 802.15.4. And what this thing basically shows is that in an 802.15.4 network, every device can talk to every other device. So this basically means it's a mesh network. So, for example, let's say that fridge is really a long way away from your router. If you have devices between that fridge and your router, the network protocol that we implement, there is a protocol on top of 6-volt pump which is called Ripple, and this Ripple has RPL. And this ripple protocol basically routes traffic from one device to another to the mesh. So in that sense, even if you do not have direct visibility to your OLED router, your messaging and packets will always reach the internet.
But you have to configure it, or it's just like they.
No, it's not seamless. It's not seamless. It's not like you just buy a device and it magically works. You have to configure it before that, but it's really easy because you get your IP version 6 through DHCP and to network discovery.
Yes.
And the only thing you have to configure is like the PAN ID of the network. And in our particular case, the PAN ID is DIF. I can show that later. So basically, all you have to configure is like the PAN ID, which is very similar to the SSID of the Wi-Fi. And yeah, it sounds easy, no, it doesn't. Well, where and how does this whole fun work? Well, it works on different Arduinos, it works on Tiki operating system, on Riot, it works on a smartphone, and you can basically connect your monitor to the internet with those things. And the protocols, the layer 1 protocols that implement 6LoWPAN are DOE and 802.15.4. And you can also use 6LoWPAN on different protocols, but basically, if you have enough processing power, you don't need to use that.
Then who should ask about the smartphones?
Well, depends on the manufacturer. Android works with IP version 6. Apple works with IP version 6. Actually, Symbian works with IP version 6. But I don't think that Windows Mobile works with IP version 6.
Are they selling Windows Mobile?
Excuse me?
Are they selling Windows Mobile?
Who knows? So, yeah, this is an example of how to basically hack your home router. We're actually currently using one of those really small boxes you can buy of the internet, like really very cheap. This is a really popular home router. It's actually a travel router, and this one is called MR3020. It's a TP-Link device. And this TP-Link device is actually very hackable, so you can basically connect all your 802.15.4 radios and DLE radios on that one, and you can get it really cheap. Yeah, I already mentioned Ripple. I'll not waste any more time with that. I'll just mention the way it works. This is DAG. If any mathematicians here? No mathematicians, okay. I'll not bother to explain that. Basically, what Ripple does is tells every device that it's connected to every other device, and it implements routing in the network so that the packet always reaches the router. That's it. And any questions? I know it gets really complicated at that point.
I have one question.
Yeah.
I totally didn't understand this presentation.
I know it's a technical presentation. It was supposed to be for techies, but I think the techies left.
But then, because in the way how we present it, it seems pretty cool here.
Yeah, it is.
How we can use it in the cashless payments?
Actually, you can use it in cashless payments, and you can use it in telecom operators. And well, first let's define cashless payments. Do you mean like NEC payments?
Yeah. Or there is another version when they start using the sound, you know this.
Yeah, that's one actually.
What
Yeah, I think that one requires a lot of bandwidth. What I didn't mention is like these protocols. They're like really slow. You cannot use them for example, watching videos of cats or any videos at all. They're really slow. They're like dial-up speed slow. And the reason for that is that they need to consume a lot less power than standard
So
Wi-Fi.
they're not real time.
No, they are. They're actually real time. They're actually far more real time than standard GSM networks. And Wi-Fi. Because
for
the way,
low amounts of data.
excuse me?
For low amounts of data.
For long amounts of data, and there's also quality of service. Like every network protocol has quality of service. The reason, because they're real time, is that if you implement it properly, if a packet doesn't reach the router, you'll get response really fast to the sensor, and it will get rerouted really fast. So you have like a window that basically is deterministic. So this is the definition of real time. You have a determined time that a package will reach the end node in that time frame. So again, back to cashless payments. What you can do is like use this protocol to connect. For example, let's say you have I'm thinking right now on that. So let's say you have a really big festival, a music festival, and you have like these cards with charged money. So you have everybody using their smartphone, so let's say the GSM network is not really available all the time, and Wi-Fi is always out of the question. So you can basically implement a mesh network with this thing, connect it to the POS terminals, and use that for cashless payments. All the POS terminals will talk to each other, and one which is basically wired with Ethernet will be the outside gateway. And this always guarantees you that payments will be processed. Is it okay?
So trustful protocol.
Excuse me?
Trustful protocol. I mean, you can always make sure that what is happening at one end will reach the
Yeah.
the other end, one way or another. But slow.
Yeah. But really, how much speed do you need for such transactions? We are basically sending the information as degrees Celsius right now, and we're basically sending it every second, and we still have enough throughout left to push whatever we want, because we're basically sending simple text, like a really small string. So we don't need a lot of data. We're not trying to push cats over the internet. So
Kids are nice.
cats are fun.
Not for everyone.
One more question.
Yeah.
Are you aware about the ANT Plus, the CTUs?
ANT Plus actually is Nordic Semi, which was somewhere in the slides. They have a BLE radio, and this BLE radio is actually it's actually called AMT. It's on Trinity here. This BLE radio that they're selling is actually a software-defined radio. So if you need AMT, you can basically just tell the chipset, I need AMT, and they'll start using AMT. But AMT is like really just for health sensors.
Yeah.
And I think it will get obsolete really soon because nobody is using it except government, I think. So yeah, AMT is like moving out. But most of the devices, like the smartphones, they either use Nordic Semi chipsets, or actually most of them use Nordic Semi or Broadcom chipsets.
As far as aware, it's like protocol over Bluetooth, so it uses Bluetooth.
No, it uses the same hardware as Bluetooth,
Yeah.
but it's a different protocol. That's why it's called software-defined radio. You basically define the way the protocol works through your software.
With the same hardware.
Yeah, with the same hardware. So yeah, AMT is like out of the door. They tried, it didn't work. They'll probably leave it.
But as far as I'm aware, it's quite a low power consumption protocol.
AMT?
Yeah, it's over the Bluetooth.
Yeah, because the way the software is implemented, but like Bluetooth is like 15 million pairs. How low can it go? 5? Why lower? 15 million pairs. If you implement Bluetooth low energy really well, a single button cell will last you for a year. Why would you need 2 years? Or 3? The battery will die before it gets exhausted. So There's no point in that. And with every other interaction of the radio, every new version, it gets really lower and lower. So at some point, we'll reach 5 millimeters, and we cannot go lower than that. So there's no need really of amp. It's really cool because it's really easy to work with, like for heart rate monitors and for health applications. But nowadays, with every other interaction with the Bluetooth protocol, we get a lot more new basically profiles. They're called profiles in Bluetooth. So if we didn't have a profile for heart rate monitor, we already have it. So AMP gets more and more obsolete with every single data set. Any more questions?
No, thank you.
Let's go around with the
Can you show me first?
Anyone have any questions?
Yeah.
We gone.
Things that I really want to see online is like,
Yeah.
what is the purpose to be subject?
Well, the goal is to boost the economy all around, you know, so everyone wants to be a part of that, so that's why it's and you're going to see all around the world. Even San Francisco, the same thing was hackathons there.
Yeah.
You know what it's like.
No, poskoro na druga, to by się to macie.
I think we
If you don't like
Check out the
yeah,